Adjectives are words that describe nouns. They give us extra information about nouns. This is a video for level 5 upper intermediate students in Language Connection. If you're not a student, you're welcome to still study with us. We are a language institute in Bolivia and we have classes available face-to-face in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, as well as online. This is a grammar reference video. So as always, the point is that this should give you a little bit of reference, but then please use this language in your classes. Use this language when you're talking and writing. Today we're looking at adjectives and some of the interesting ways that people use adjectives. Two things we're going to do. The first is using an adjective like a noun. And we can see an example of this here. Let's make it a little bigger. Example sentences. The English are famous for drinking tea. This is coffee. The Chinese invented paper. The Dutch make wonderful cheese. Dutch, people from the Netherlands normally. The poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer. The government needs to create more jobs for the unemployed. In our first example, we have nationalities. So the English, we are using the definite article the with the nationality, the English, and that means English people, right? It's a different way of saying it. And you can also talk about groups in society. So the poor is the same basically as poor people, right? And the rich are rich people. The unemployed are people who don't have a job, right? So these are groups of people in society, and what we can do is just use the and then that word, and now we're referring to an entire group. Something else that we can do with adjectives, and this is really strange actually, because if you talk to people who have never studied English but learned it as a child, right? We don't realize that this exists until we're taught it, right? There is a specific order that everybody just knows about adjectives. Let me give you an example. We have a charming old house near the lake. That's fine, right? We have charming and old to describe the house. However, if I said we have an old charming house near the lake, that sounds a little strange, right? Honestly, it sounds a little strange. Now, I will say that in English, at least from my perception, this adjective order is losing importance over time. It's something that we're not too interested in as much as we used to be. But if I say she has long brown hair, that sounds totally normal. If I say she has brown long hair, that sounds very strange to English speaking ears. And it's just because of this thing called adjective order. You can put more than one adjective before a noun, often two or even occasionally three. But when you do, you have to put them in the right order. Now, there is a selection here. It goes opinion, then size, then age, then shape, then color, then pattern, then original place, then material, right? No one remembers that, right? You can use this as a reference to help you get into the feel of things. But from what we should take away from this is that opinion adjectives always go before descriptions, right? It's a charming old house. It's not an old charming house, right? If there is more than one descriptive order, they go like this. So, for example, it's an expensive, little, brand new, long, purple striped French silk scarf. That's fine in English. But if you change any of that order, it sounds weird. Okay? So let's do some practice questions and see where your instincts lie. Because as I say, English speakers do not learn this order in school. It's just something we pick up through practice. So if we as English learners are able to be aware of it, that's enough. From there on, that being aware is going to guide our practice and focus it a little better. In part A, please rewrite the underlined phrases using the and an adjective. I will say that there's more than one possible answer for some of these sentences. Here's an example. People from Vietnam enjoy spicy food. The Vietnamese enjoy spice. Has the same meaning in English. Okay, pause and complete 10 questions. Okay, let's have a look. So number one is the Dutch tend to be good at languages. I can confirm that's true from my experience. Clara Barton took care of the people who weren't well during the American Civil War. Now you have options here. You could use unwell and you could use the sick. You could use if they're hurt because of some problem, like a war-based casualty, you can have the wounded, perhaps. The system of reading for people who can't see, that's the blind. The system of reading for the blind. Number four, the Chinese. So remember that we need capital letters for nationalities. Ambulances arrive to take the people who have been injured. The best word here is the casualties. You could use the injured or the wounded, as I said before. Number six, people from Switzerland are the Swiss. The Swiss are usually very punctual. The worst season for the homeless is winter. There is a discount for students and the unemployed. The monument was erected to honor the people who died. You could use the fallen, or again, the casualties during World War II. There are special TV shows for people who can't hear. It's the deaf. So these are groups of people in society. We make the adjectives feel like nouns in a way, really. And in this second part, adjective order, we have to write the adjectives in parentheses in the right place and be careful with a or an, because if the adjective begins with a vowel, we need to use an. Pause and complete 10 questions. Okay, so this is the kind of thing where I need to do it without thinking too much. If I think about it too much, I start putting things in the different order. But this is an attractive young man, and we have dirty old shoes. Now we have an adjective already with velvet, which is our material, but materials go at the end of our list. Beautiful is subjective, right? That's an opinion, so that would always go first. A beautiful black velvet jacket. Here we have three adjectives. So, short, heavy American woman. Number five is a long sandy beach. Sand is the material of the beach. A charming old log cabin. Stylish Italian leather bag. Huge dark eyes. Friendly old black dog. And a striped cotton t-shirt. As I say, if you talk to people who speak English as a native language, they won't know that they're doing this. But it's just something for us to be aware of as something that's quite interesting. So the main summary for this video is that adjectives can act like nouns to talk of groups of people in society using the word the. And you do have adjective order. It exists in English. We have to be aware of it. If something sounds a little strange, we need to change the order of the adjectives. I don't expect you to remember the step-by-step. I don't remember it, right? That's not how I choose to learn this. But do think that opinions go first, right? The opinions will go before clearer descriptions in how we describe things. Okay, that's everything. See you next time.